All right, that's live.
Right on. Remember the first time we were gonna do a live when we were playing for the Gens?
Yeah.
Like legit 5 years ago.
And we're live. You sure it's not private? I feel like it's private. It should be public.
How many thousands of viewers do we have?
7 million.
10x that.
Double check this. No viewers yet. Perfect.
All right.
Alrighty. Make sure we're recording. We are recording. All right.
Right on.
You know what podcast episode this is? Take a guess.
It's oh god, don't tell me it's like 79.
82.
82 already?
82.
Holy shit.
82 episodes. All right. We'll just do, we'll open up with Q&A.
Yep.
And then we'll dive into it. All right, welcome back to the Underdog Podcast. Today, we are actually live on YouTube and TikTok, so we're going to be going through some questions that come in, responding to some comments, but for the most part, it's status quo. We're going to be going through a quick Q&A from submissions from the club app, Comeback Club, where people are submitting their podcast questions through the mission, and we've got a couple dozen podcast questions in here, but we've refined it to 2 for today. So we're going to start off with Zach. This is a little bit more of an in-depth question. He says, what was the single most difficult underdog moment you faced as a startup? And what was the one belief or habit that kept you from giving up during that time? I'll start it off.
Yeah, it's a loaded question. That's a good one. I think I'll go back to the beginning. I think there's 2 moments in particular that stand out for me. I'm going to talk about the first one. And that was right before our first production run. We didn't know what we were doing. We don't know what we're doing now. No one has it figured out, as we've learned. But that first production run, like everything that could have gotten in our way and any roadblock that we could have had to like really kind of, that was our first run. We were going to break through. Everything that could have gotten in the way got in the way. Even from funding, like, my parents ended up helping us out to finish the last few $1,000s out to make the run happen. So that was one, because I remember sitting on FaceTime at the hockey house with you and being like, what are we going to do? Like the money didn't come through. We were supposed to produce, I want to say, in the next month, and payment was like, we had to pay for it. Mm-hmm. And it was just, we were genuinely like, what now? Like, what do we do? And then to build on that, I know we've talked about this in the previous episode, but we had the issue with the LGPC, with it possibly being coded. It was coded for the wrong ingredient, 50% versus 100%. So it looked like we only had half the right amount ordered when in reality we had it figured out. But there was just every roadblock that could have happened. And I think so that would be, I forget exactly how Zach worded the question, but I think that would be our biggest underdog moment in business for me. That was, it was just like, is this going to fail before we even get it off the ground type of thing? And I think you learn to deal with it. And one thing we've always said to each other is we'll figure it out. Like we always do. We always find a way to just make it work. And I think once we made it through that, it was kind of like, you know what, there is always an answer. Like we will find a way. And now look at the last run we did. It was, 48 times the size, or I guess 24 times the size. And we found a way, and we had even tighter timeline to raise money to make that happen. So I think for me, that's the one, is that first run.
Yeah, I think the challenges, they keep getting bigger and bigger, but we've faced a lot of the similar ones. It's just more enhanced because of the size of the challenge now. Like you mentioned, bigger production runs. Like we're dealing with more money, different marketing spend. We have different strategies and avenues that we're going down that are more expensive than what we were dealing with in the first place. I mean, when we were first starting out, like, it was all self-distribution and like we were shipping out on our own. A lot of it was just through social media. Now it's, paid ad campaigns through Meta and TikTok and Club. So all these different avenues that we're kind of going down. And I think in the early days, it'd probably be easy. And I think part of his question too is like, not giving up in the start, because you get thrown so much stuff your way that you're not expecting and you don't anticipate when you first start out. So I think it's easier to fold when you first start out, because you're like, oh my God, like, this is how it's going to be like moving forward. You don't really know what to expect. And I think part of the planning phase, which I think we spent a lot of time planning, business plan, our pitch deck, like really laying out how we're going to go to market, how we're going to make this a success, and really like our longer term vision, but you don't account for those little things. You know what I mean? So I think that was, like you said, definitely the trickiest part about it. And we still face a lot of similar challenges now, but I think we're just ready for it. Like we're much more accustomed to the nature of what is running a startup business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's a podcast episode in itself. Which,
was there a second part to that question?
Just what was the one belief or habit that kept you from giving up during that time?
Yeah, I think we'll touch on it, but for me, it was just like, we'll find a way. Like, we will always find a way through it. There's always going to be a solution. And I think knowing that it's never going to be easy, there's never going to be an easy answer, an easy solution. You're always going to have to find something. So it's kind of like, what's next? And you're always going to be problem solving or firefighting in a sense. So I think that's one thing that helped us get through it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's just like, why you start a business in the first place. If you want to have an impact and you want that to be your life, you know what I mean? Like, you want that to be your day to day. I myself, I don't want to work for anybody. And I feel like and this is a common thing in entrepreneurship, I feel like, but people think that it's like, oh, you work for yourself, like you set your own hours, you do your own, like, I was up 5 a.m. this morning. The first thing I did was went right to my laptop and started doing work. Like, you're not doing that in a 9-to-5 job. You know what I mean? So it's different, but it's also like you enjoy the process and you enjoy what you do. It's a totally different mindset and a totally different environment that you're in, because it's also like the other end of it is like, if you don't do the work, who's going to do it? You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting environment to be in. I highly recommend it for anybody that wants to start their own thing. It's a wild ride, but and the highs and lows are, I don't care what anybody says. Like, you got to be, emotionless and don't feel emotion. Like, the highs are high and the lows are low, but like, it's just a matter of balancing that out and, knowing that the sun's going to rise the next day. You know what I mean? Regardless, whether it was a bad day or a good day, you got to get back to work and keep executing. So that was a good question though. Thanks, Zach. And then we will do, this is more of a funny one, but who's your dream workout, bro? This is a submission from Lily.
Gorms. Shout out Gorms. Love working out with him. Did I tell you I'm going to work out with him on Wednesday, actually?
Oh, no, where?
He's going to meet me in Danbury.
No
I'm
way.
taking those cases down, 60 cases. Shout out Danbury. It sounds illegal saying that since we played for the Gens, but
yeah.
Sorry, Brian. Driving the 60 cases down, drop them off in Danbury, and then Gorm's going to drive up and we're going to work out at this place called Madhouse Strength.
Madhouse Strength?
I'll have to show you.
Is this like another, like, kind of like a, what's that gym called? Why can't I drop the name of Long Island?
Oh, like a Bev Francis?
Yeah, like a Bev Francis.
It's like that, but it's new. Like, Bev Francis is like old school,
Okay.
This is like, they just opened 3 years ago. Kind of like, it reminds me of Ultraflex, actually, the pictures of it online.
Ultraflex, yeah.
It's all black. I'll show you the picture of this gym after, but it's all black.
Iron weights, or is it?
I don't know what they have for plates, but a ton of arsenal strength.
Yeah.
And that's like my favorite.
That's sweet.
So, shout out Gorms.
Good stuff.
Who was yours be?
Oh, geez. I mean, if we're really going like
Anyone you want.
big imagination, I'm probably going Arnold or Ronnie. Like that, I just feel like that would be absolutely electric. But
Prime Ronnie.
yeah, but like more realistically, honestly, the best workouts that I have and the ones that I enjoy the most is literally working out at my parents' house basement gym with my dad, just listen to AC/DC, freaking Five Finger Death Punch, like full blast, like nobody's around. That's my favorite. That's the best workouts. But I wouldn't discount a workout with Ronnie or Arnold. I'm sure that's pretty sick. I remember when we were in Venice Beach for the formulation. That was back in 2020, 2021?
2022. No.
When we were actually formulating, like going through that whole process. That was
summer of 22.
Summer of 22, I guess. Yeah, it would have been summer of 22.
Spring of freshman year.
Yeah. I was really hoping that we were going to see. I mean, we saw Dom Mazzetti, but like I was, and Arnold. No, it was
Arnold was in there earlier that day. So was Michael Hearn.
Michael Hearn came in after, I think, and we saw the videos of him going in there after.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we just missed him. But yeah, that was pretty sick. Imagine having that as your home gym like that.
Beach. That's my goal when I'm old and retired. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna spend a week at like famous gym spots.
Yeah.
So I can train, get like a full week's worth of training, try all their equipment out, and do like gym reviews.
That's not a bad idea.
That's my goal.
Start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, when I'm like 16.
Like, who is this guy? Old, decrepit, reviewing gyms. Back in my day. All right. Well, speaking of that, I think that's a good. Unless you have anything else you want to add to either one of those questions.
No.
Nothing. All right. I think so. We both have some pretty interesting stuff that we're going into. I'll let you kind of start it off, but you're obviously long awaited getting into the bodybuilding space and going to compete for your first time. So I guess walk us through that and first of all, what I know you wanted to do, but what was the turning point for you to like actually want to do a show?
Probably just talking to Mike Foley at the gym,
Foley.
honestly. I mean, I've always loved like just working out and getting huge and like the bodybuilding environment, I guess you could say, or like watching, you see it. That's all what Instagram's just full of is like, your fitness influencers, bodybuilders, that sort of thing. And I've always loved it and loved the culture and just working out to get huge. And like Gorms, that was always a joke we had. It was like, oh, this damn hockey thing just gets in the way of getting huge. So I've always like thought about it. Once hockey's done, and that's why I kind of wanted to dabble with the powerlifting event last year. I didn't really need to do any sort of prep for it. It was just like that one I could kind of wing and just show up. I mean, I was fresh off a broken rib and the season ending, and it was kind of just like, let's see how strong I am type of thing. And I loved it. It was a ton of fun. I love lifting heavy weights. This was like, it's totally different, like having to cut weight, and it's all about look rather than performance. It's just like a different lifestyle to it. And I've always wanted to do it. It was just kind of like, you can't bodybuild and play hockey. It just didn't work.
No, that's not.
So when it ended, I don't know. I was kind of just, I threw around the idea of it and got as big as I could right after the season ended. And then by grad, I was up to like 227, 228. And then I was just talking to Mike, and really what's like originally sparked it was, this is before I didn't know anything about the federations and whatnot, other than obviously like IFBB Pro, that sort of thing. We're sponsoring the NPC Muscle Maine Classic event October 18th. And I was just like, like that'd be kind of cool if I competed in it. Like we sponsor the event and then compete in it. And then talk to Mike, and you kind of learn the harsh truth of bodybuilding, really, in that it's an NPC event. So you win an NPC event, you qualify for an NPC national, you win a national, you get your IFBB Pro card.
That's crazy.
And then obviously, that's a whole different ballgame. But even at the NPC level in regional shows, everyone's on gear. And he's like, you're natural, like you're like, no offense, but you're not going to have a chance going against just this sheer size. Like they're just way bigger. Totally different. So he's like, let's look at doing one of the OCB, which is, I should even know what it stands for, Organization of Competitive Bodybuilding, I think. and it's natural. It's
Yes.
drug tested.
No.
I think that's what it is. Drug tested. So I started looking at some of the dates, and there was one that kind of fell around that time, and that seemed like a reasonable timeline. When I first started talking to Mike, I was like 16 weeks out. I'm like, does this give me enough time? Like, I know typical prep is, anywhere from that 3 to 4 month range. And he's like, yeah, we can get you in shape by then. And I didn't really know because I was definitely a little fluffy. Like, it's the heaviest I've
Dude,
ever
you can
been.
cut weight quick though.
Well, yeah, wait till I tell you how much weight I've lost. I don't know if you...
Are you like 200 now?
Yeah, I mean, you see me on a day-to-day, so you probably don't notice it as much. But, like, even my mom, I sent a picture to my dad from one of the check-ins. And he's like, how long ago was this? Like, how many years? And I was like, what? Like, this was from this afternoon. He's like, your face looks young. And I mean, maybe I just shaved. Not that I had a big beard going or anything, but I had shaved. And he's like, I can see it in your face. Like, you look younger.
You can see your cheekbones.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming in.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just, you lose weight. You can lose weight quickly.
What are you sitting at now?
199.
199.
Yeah.
I weigh more than you.
Well, just wait till I tell you about this. But yeah. So that was when I first got back. I met with Mike that week kind of thing. I think I got back on Sunday, and that Thursday I met with Mike because I pretty much met with him every Thursday, and he set me up with a diet plan. And I was honestly shocked at how much I was consuming about 5,500 calories on a daily basis, which was just a ton of food. And that's just and I was gaining on that the whole kind of basically from when the season ended to when I got back. So call it the beginning of July. And I was eating 55, and I kind of tapped out. Like, eating 5,500 calories got me to basically 228. And I was just like, I couldn't gain any more weight, and it was time to start cutting down. And started working with Mike, doing the diet plan. And I don't know, that part's easy. I think a lot of people, for him working with other clients, that's the most difficult part, is just staying on track with it. I'm like, Mike, this will be a breeze. I eat like a robot anyways. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
We've always prepped all our meals just for simplicity's sake. So just following his measurements and what I need to eat and when was pretty easy. And then the weight came off. And so I weighed in when I started with Mike. So I'd lost 10 pounds from peak, shortly after grad was the heaviest I ever was. I started to dial it back on my own at home. And when I came back July 6th, I weighed 216 at Foley's with Mike. And then he does quick caliper test of just midsection squats, which is obviously your highest percentage. So his body fat percentage reading is, I'm going to say, a few percentage points higher than probably what we've done, because it doesn't.
Because normally you take in a bunch of different areas, you take the average.
Yeah. So at LIU we did 14 points. So John had, I want to say we did calf, hamstring, quad, and then there was two abdominal region, shoulder, bicep, tricep, and then 2 in the back.
No pec.
Yeah, pec. Yeah, there was a pec one too.
I remember that one because it kind of hurt a little
bit. Yeah, it's a good little pitch. He would do a bunch. And when me weighing 216, that's pretty much what I played with at LIU. And on John's, I was always between 8 and 9%. All 4 times we did it, I was either, I think the lowest I ever got was an 8.0, and the highest I ever got was an 8.9. So I was always in that 8% on John's method too. Yeah. And then Mike's is just the abdominal ones, and genetically, that's just where I store all my fat. I don't have any fat really on my arms or quads or anything like that. But on his, I started at 13.8. 13.8. And last week, well, now it's been 10 days because I canceled my one on Thursday.
Which you came in on the DEXA during the season around 12, 13, in that area, right?
Yeah, 12, 3 or 5, if I want to. Yeah, something like that. So comparable to the DEXA. Yeah. So I went from 216, 13.8, and then I weighed 199 this morning. And then I have my meeting with Mike today, actually at 3:30, to see what I'm at. But not this past Thursday, the Thursday before when I met with him, I was 205. I had breaking, so I was 8.2 8'2", 205, and I was down like 11 pounds in 6 weeks, basically.
Yeah. What are you gonna try and get to before the?
I'll probably step on stage around 195.
195. Really?
That would be lighter or heavier?
I thought you'd be lighter.
Really?
Yeah, I thought you'd be closer to like 190.
We'll see what happens.
Is that like what he said? Like that's the goal, is to get to 195?
Well,
Or is that just like
no, that was just me like doing the math on the percentages.
Yeah.
And if I got to that and maintained like 90 most of my muscle and just lost fat, that would put me under 5%, which is like lean
yeah, that's
for being natural. But
so for this show, it's a natural bodybuilding show. So let's say theoretically you win, which is probably a decent chance, I would imagine. Cape Cod, you know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, I have no idea. There's these local like shows. It's just like
But like, what's the step after that? Like, is there like 1, 2? Like, if you get first place, you're going to.
yeah. So this one's a national qualifier. So if I were to win the Open, I'd get like a OCB Pro card, and then you'd be on then you compete at pro shows the following year to try and win. I think their title's called the Yorkton Cup. But I just wanted to give it a go. I didn't tell anybody, didn't post anything. I didn't really want to say anything to anyone. I was just going to do it and just see.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
So now I got 5 weeks, and then there's actually another one, a different federation. I don't even know the name of it. The name of the show is just the Granite State Natural something or other.
Yeah.
It's in New Hampshire. But it's not a part of the OCB, like different federation, still natural. And that's the following weekend. So I'll do the one on October 11th and then the one on October 18th.
Mm-hmm. You got to get a spray tan, right?
Yeah, I have to shave my whole body and get a spray tan.
Dude, you'd be like a bear.
Yeah,
You're going to get a whack? Like, you're just going to shave or you're going to get whacked?
No, I was actually talking about this, and Sydney was making fun of me the whole time. And yeah, she's not.
Is she on board with it? Or?
No, not really. No.
Really?
She's like bugging me about having to shave my legs to get a spray tan.
That's awesome.
But her sister's telling me just to Nair it. Like that hair cream, Nair. You just
Oh.
rub it on, and it just like burns your hair off, and you just wipe it off.
Jesus.
It's probably no good for you, but
Probably
it's
not.
not a lot easier.
That would take a long time. Because it's like literally everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
Well, not head, but from your eyebrows down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that part. Really not looking forward to any of the actual show day. I just like lifting weights and getting in shape.
Get in shape.
I'm not super excited to put a fucking Speedo on and
That's the part.
shave my body.
Dude, I honestly, I don't think I could get past that. I'd feel too like uncomfortable. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like-
I'm not really looking forward to it, but I've been like, I've even noticed I've never had to diet down. I've never dieted down ever or
Yeah.
anything. It's always just been season ends. It's like
Put on
I
weight,
got to get as big,
Gotta
as
get
strong
big,
as I
yeah,
can,
yeah.
and then the season just deteriorates your body. And
which
it's
you
been like,
naturally lose weight during the season. But it's like you're decrepit by the end of
Yeah.
the season.
it's been like 15 seasons of that.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
a lot. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever dieted down for anything. And like my shorts don't fit. I feel like a 12-year-old when your mom buys your pants. You're like, you got to grow into them.
Or even
Um,
hockey, like you get like a little bit bigger stuff as
Yeah.
you grow up, so you grow into it.
Yeah, but everything's loose again. I'm like, this is weird.
That's funny.
But yeah, so that's kind of the latest endeavor. We'll see where it goes. See what I can do. I mean, I just like working out.
Yeah.
The eating part is fun. I really enjoy the discipline to it. Like, it's not like you just go train for 2 hours and you're done. Like, it never ends. Like, everything you do matters, and you have control over it, which I love.
Which leads to every other aspect in your life too.
Yeah.
It's I feel like that's one thing that I've struggled with is like training aimlessly,
Mhm.
like not having a mission at the end. That's why like I want to do what I'm going to do coming up soon, is because like I just can't train. Like, training's great. I love working out. I love doing all that stuff. But training without an end goal, it's just like, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling, you know. But you did it for a little bit, I guess, while you're figuring out what you were doing. Like, you can probably relate to it in a sense.
At which point?
Like, once hockey season ended, it was like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, as soon as the season ended, it was like, how big can I get?
Yeah.
Just eating as much as I could and working out. And like, what the hardest part was the shoulder injuries. Like
Yeah.
I still can't bench. And I couldn't really do much. And it was like 6 weeks of rehab type stuff.
Yeah.
So that kind of put a damper on everything to start the season or off season. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna see what we can do, and who knows, maybe I'll get into it a little more seriously.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not doing it for shits and giggles, but like I want to try and win it. But I'm not saying this is gonna be like my life type of thing.
Yeah.
We'll see how it
Who
goes.
knows? Maybe you'll get up there and be like, "Wow, I love being up here in Speedo. I'm gonna do it again next weekend with a bunch of dudes." No, I love bodybuilding. No, I mean, I was first exposed to bodybuilding from oh my god, why am I drawing a blank?
Your mom.
Pumping Iron. Well, yeah, my mom, but Pumping Iron.
The documentary.
Yeah, I used to watch that with my dad. He had the VCR.
Yeah.
Pumping Iron. We used to watch that, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is insane! Like, these guys are huge." And he had all the muscle magazines. He still has them, and you know that room, like in between my room, and my sister's room, and my parents' house.
Yeah.
He stored all, like he has all the muscle magazines of like, you know, Arnold's on the cover, like when he was on the come up. Like I don't even. They might be worth something, maybe not, but
yeah,
you like look through those, and then you look through the more recent ones that he had before you just stop collecting them. Dude, people, like bodybuilders have gotten way bigger
and way freakier.
Yeah, freaky looking. Like back in, I guess, the golden era, I feel like they look huge, but they look human.
Yeah,
You know
and they're
what I
not as lean as guys come in now, and they're like so grainy looking, you know?
Yeah, it's great. Like they look like robots. Who's that guy?
You got to be thinking of Nick Walker.
Not Nick Walker, but this guy's he's a freak too. But is it Kai Green, the one with the hair?
Huge braid out the back.
Dude, he literally looks like something from the wild.
Yeah, dude, he's never won.
Oh, no, that's crazy. Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, that's gonna be cool. Cool to see. When is it again? It's
October 11th. So it'll make for an interesting last week because we got events, and then we go to Florida, and then come back and then do that the next day or 2 days later.
That's gonna be a quick turnaround.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
30 meetings over 2 days, and then right into a bodybuilding show. That's good.
Yeah, I'll probably fall asleep.
Throw some air travel on top of that.
Yeah. What is the plan? Have we booked any of that?
No, we gotta book it.
Okay. Maybe it's best we stay in an Airbnb.
Airbnb, yeah. The last time we stayed in an Airbnb, we got absolutely fried. That was crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're bringing sunscreen this time to Florida.
Yeah, no kidding. Not that we're gonna be outside. We're gonna be locked in a hotel basically.
Yeah,
2 days straight. But
anyways, all right. Now you're up. So tell us what's your thinking. How you got into this idea? What made you think of it? Why? And what you're trying to do?
Yeah. Well, I've like I was just saying, like I've always kind of thought of what's next after hockey, and I like took a pretty big hit when hockey was over because I didn't know what to do physically, because I was like, I have so much more to give. I'm kind of interested in this. I'm kind of interested in that, but I'm not like I'm doing this kind of thing. But I've always done the endurance side of things. Like I've run a few of those races that. I don't necessarily enjoy them. I enjoy the discipline aspect to it because it's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of like pain and suffering, I guess you'd say, like to prepare for it. Like as the same thing with bodybuilding, like it's a sacrifice. Like you're sacrificing something in a big way to get to that end goal. So like
the day is like the least.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's because it's like
if
you're either ready.
Right.
Yeah, you're either ready for it or you're not.
Yeah.
Like
if you do it right, the competition day, or like the show day, or like race day, or whatever it is, like you should be like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. I'm in a good spot. But if you're not feeling like that, you didn't sacrifice in preparation. But anyways, so I've been trying to think of like the best. How can I tie in the business with something physical, something that we're growing the business at the same time. So I don't feel like that's the other part of it is like if I spend too much time training, I feel guilty because I'm not allocating that time to grow the business and stuff like that. So I would love to work out, 4 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours, like that'd be awesome. I would love to do that. But it didn't feel tangible. When the season ended and everything like that, it was just all gung-ho, underdog. So I tried to think of a way to grow the business and also chase something physically. And I've been seeing all these challenges, like XYZ in 30 days, or that guy who, this is the one that I always think of because it's crazy. He quit his 9 to 5 job and he set sail from Oregon to Hawaii, and the goal was to do it in 30 days. And he documented the whole thing, and he's got like 1 million followers now or something like that. So I was trying to think of a way that tying in the physical with the business. So I love rucking. I love spending time in the woods, hiking, doing all that kind of stuff. And I was first introduced to rucking from, I think it was Jocko, actually. Jocko
Frisella?
Maybe Frisella. I mean, there are a lot of guys in the fitness space that do that kind of stuff, but you know, I loved hiking, but I was like, I want to make this harder. You know what I mean? So that was when I was first introduced to rucking. So I threw a rucksack on. I was actually doing it with a backpack and a 45-pound plate and a 25-pound plate in the bag, and I ended up ripping probably 3 or 4 backpacks. So finally got myself a ruck. But anyways, I'm going to attempt Guinness World Record, which is still, the application is in limbo right now because I've been going back and forth with the Guinness people, trying to figure out the best way to approach it. It is confirmed that a ruck from Maine to Texas has not been attempted, not attempted, but they said not completed. So maybe somebody has attempted it, they just haven't completed it.
Yeah, they died.
They died, yeah. That's the other thing you got to be careful of. But
Now, you're going to go Maine to Texas and not Maine to Florida?
no, I changed. Yeah,
Maine to Texas?
Yeah, Maine to Texas. I think it's about 400 or 500 miles further. But the idea behind it is to potentially get on a notorious podcast that we've all heard of. That plan is still got to figure that out. But I've been spending the last few weeks planning it out, figuring out if it's even possible, because that's a long way to go. And I want to try and do it in 60 days. Like, that's the goal, is like, Maine to Texas in 60 days. I don't want to leave it open-ended. Like, I don't want to submit the application for like as fast as I can kind of thing. Because it just it feels like I'm giving myself an easy way out. And I don't want to do that. I need to stick to something. So I think what it came out to, and it's going to be give or take, like there are going to be some days I started planning it out, but I think, on average, it's going to be 35 to 40 miles a day. And I'd have to maintain between like an 18 and 20 minute mile pace with a 25-pound rucksack. That's the minimum that you can do. So I'm training with like a 55-pound rucksack right now. And I'm just going to slowly build my way up and start doing every single day, and then back-to-back long runs on the weekend, because it's just, not during the work week. And, I have a little bit more time to do those long runs. And I think that the biggest hurdle is going to be the weekends, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be back-to-back, but you don't want to burn yourself out the whole time. It's the same thing with ultra running. Like, you can't run, if you're signing up for a 100-mile race, you can't run 100 miles in preparation. Well, you can, but in theory, from a performance standpoint, like, you're setting yourself up for failure because you could get injured. That's a lot of miles. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm thinking of doing. And I think what we're going to end up doing, since we're on, the social impact side of things now with Underdog, and my uncle being diagnosed with ALS last year, I've kind of watched that whole thing progress, and how the more I looked into it, I did some research on ALS, and it's a disease that's really gone under the radar. Like, it's not something that is very taken care of. It's not in the headline news, really. So that, I think what we're going to end up doing, we haven't really set the exact amount, because this also affects how you apply for Guinness, but potentially doing some sort of percentage of the profits for the sales through those 60 days goes towards an ALS foundation. So I'm still getting that squared away, because basically it ends up being an individual versus organization submission. So there's a lot more pieces that are involved, and I would likely have to do some sort of fundraiser, because you have to pay for that kind of submission. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the preliminary plan right now. I think I've also been trying to figure out when's the best time to start it.
Yeah.
I was like, ideally, this is just not feasible. Ideally, you leave before the snow starts happening in the Northeast, so you're out of it. And then by the time you get to those, the southern states, there's no snow, obviously, but it's not hot. You know what I mean? Because the thing I was worried about is, like, starting in the spring. Okay, great. Like, there's no snow or anything like that. But then you get to those warmer states.
It's like 100 degrees.
It's going to be hot days. Yeah, it's going to be hot days. So trying to figure that out. Just trying to set myself up for success. But logistically, it's gonna be crazy. Like,
So what's from Maine to Texas? What's the total mileage?
I believe so. I'm still figuring out the route because that's the other issue. Is like there has to be witnesses. There has to be checkpoints where people are there. It also has to be a runnable road or trail or whatever it is. And obviously, we want to be able to get content throughout the whole process. So I can't just be like running through the woods and what I mean, nobody's there. So still figuring that out, but I think it's going to be roughly 2,500 miles.
2,500 miles. Yeah. I don't have my phone on, but you're going to do it in 60 days.
Yeah. Still, like I said, there's still a lot to be figured out because it's going to be give or take, and the days are going to be different. That'd be 41.6
miles.
And I think the rough estimate that I came up with is like 9 to 10 hours a day I'd be out rucking, basically.
So it's almost 2 marathons a day, like 1.5 marathons just with a ruck every single day for 60 days.
The thing that, like, so with the ultras, you have that window to like, you're basically going all out for what your body can handle for that duration of the race. So this is going to be a little bit more of like it's less impact because I tested out to see what a 19, 20-minute mile is, and it's a fast walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm not like pounding on my knees, like ankles and all that. Granted, as the days progress, it's going to be more and more challenging. I think the biggest issue is going to be my back. So we'll see.
Are you going to run with like a brace or what? You're going to need to run with a back brace and knee braces, ankle braces.
I think I'm just going to like make sure I'm prepared with the contingencies of like, okay, I roll my ankle, I got to have some sort of brace there. If I throw my back out, which has happened 3 times in the past 2 years, re-herniating a disc, that would be so bad. Oh my God, I don't know if that'd even be possible. Do you remember Bull Street when I first herniated my disc junior year?
Yeah, I did squatting 135.
Yeah, squatting with the warming up. Warming up. I was with Kiefer and Cuzzy doing a 30-30, 5 a.m. on a freaking after the season ended, and second rep just blew my back out, and I couldn't walk. Walking up the stairs was the worst thing, I think.
Yeah.
Walking on flat ground is manageable, but yeah. So that'll be interesting. But I got a lot of rehab stuff I got to do and figuring out the best training regimen for this. I think a lot of my training is going to be around legs and just getting out on the road and doing rucks.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm probably going to do 2.5, I would say, maybe full leg workouts during the week just to like prepare for that kind of stuff. I think a lot of lunges, like a lot of single leg stuff, I think is going to help. Just because like I gotta strengthen tendons, ligaments, like all that kind of stuff because I think it's going to be unlike anything I've ever done, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's also like probably one crack at it. I wouldn't probably attempt that again unless somebody if I completed it and somebody tried to break it, like that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Then maybe I'd have to. I don't know.
And are you thinking of doing it this year type of thing?
I think so.
Next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's the other thing is like if you train those long miles for that long, like your body's just gonna shut down. So yeah, I'm thinking spring. Like we'll see kind of how the winter goes. I think we're gonna have a bad winter. Like I think we're gonna get a lot of snow.
Okay.
We got no rain at all this summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had a little dry spell there, and then it just rained the other day for the first time in a little bit. But yeah, I think I have a funny feeling it's gonna be a heavy winter. So we'll see. But I have to submit the application for, ASAP because it takes about 10 to 12 weeks to hear back. And then it's go time. But I already created like a little tracking sheet of all the stuff I would need. There's a lot of logistics involved with it, like a lot of logistics. So and I think one thing is like, who's going to be there.
We're gonna have to follow you with the trailer. Like you have to somewhere you need to when you need to rest, you need to rest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Which honestly would be pretty cool. Like living out of a not an RV, I guess a trailer, right? Yeah. RV trailer? Is that what they call it? Yeah. I already checked out some of those. I think what I'm gonna try and do is like get some sponsors from that side of things. Like maybe an RV company will lend one for the 60 days or whatever in goodwill. And then, reach out to Hoka. Hopefully they can set me up with a few pairs of shoes.
So you'll literally probably go through a couple pairs of shoes.
Yeah. That was the one thing I was like looking up to, is like, because once again, it's just like kind of like starting a business. Like, you're not going to think of these little things that are going to come up, but like shoes, like I'm going to run through a bunch of pairs of shoes. I got to run with them first to break them in. So I have to cycle through some shoes while I'm training. Rucksack.
We're going to need a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm going to need a couple of those.
Food is the next big, like probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean,
how are you going to fuel for that,
If I had to guess, like, the ultras that I ran, granted it's a higher heart rate, so I'm burning more calories. If I had to guess, I'm probably burning 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day. Just doing the ruck, never mind like your base rate.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably
need to be somehow consuming like 8,000 to 10,000 calories a day somehow.
Which is just, I don't even know how that's going to be possible, but
you'll lose weight.
Oh yeah,
you want to lose weight?
Yeah, I'll lose weight. Yeah, I was watching that kid. I think I sent it to you. Who was running across the UK with his brother, and that was 1,000 miles. I think it was 1,000 miles. Granted, they were running.
Yeah.
And he was in rough shape, dude. Like, he got checked into the hospital like a few times.
Yeah.
Because like he had some, I forget what it was, but something to do with his feet.
He was the kid that was like literally crawling out of the trailer on crutches, and then would like start running by the midday.
And he was doing it for, I believe it was his grandmother who had cancer. But it's for a good cause, and I think that's why I want the cause attached to it too, because it adds another layer of like, I'm finishing this thing. You know what I mean? And honestly, like I've had a lot of reflection since my uncle was diagnosed with that, because I've watched just kind of like the deterioration and progression of the disease, and it's like we have a gift of being able to just work out and walk, even just walk and use our bodies. Like, it's amazing. And honestly, I think a lot of people take that for granted. I'm probably a culprit of that too. Over time, just like taking things for granted. From a whole overall standpoint. So I'm excited. I got a lot of planning to do, a lot of figuring out to do. It's going to be a real time management thing with the business and figuring that out. But I think it's going to be a great awareness opportunity, and it's so on brand with who we are as a brand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any other founders doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it adds a layer of like authenticity to our brand, which is, one of our main values is authenticity, trust, transparency. Yeah. Like that's literally why we formulated this the way we did, why we came out with this drink. It's all transparency. It's all authenticity. It's us living vicariously through the product. That's how I see it. Because there's just so many companies out there nowadays that don't give a shit about that. And I think that's the wrong way to approach building a business. Granted, I think a lot of businesses start out like that, and then they're acquired by a big dog or whatever, and then it just restructures everything. So that's basically it. So we'll see kind of how the next few months go, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to document, like if the documenting should start when it starts, or if the documenting should start before, like in the training. You know what I mean?
I think it'd be cool to have like obviously the whole thing documented, but then your training too.
Yeah.
That's why I reached out. We can talk about it on here too, but I reached out to Dylan, went back and forth with him. Intern videographer. So if there's any videographers in the Portland, Maine area that are interested, but Dylan's going to reach out, see what they can find for videographers, and some people that are students with editing capabilities that would be able to document something like that. Because, like I said, I didn't want to document any of the bodybuilding stuff either. I just literally wanted to show up and do it. But now, kind of the word's out there, like we might as well have someone documenting it, colleagues, trainings, making little snippets each week type of thing, or long form YouTube of what a week or a day of training looks like.
Yeah.
And get like we talk about that founder-facing content. Like, what are we doing on a day-to-day? What does our time here look like at the office when we're full on with the business? What does our time away from the office look like when we're training for, our athletic or our physical goals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest parts is like documenting it in a way that people kind of feel like they're there almost, And I think it's so hard to do on your own where like you need like C-Bone, for example. I mean, I know we always use him as an example, but like he hired a photographer, videographer that literally lived with him.
Yeah. I got to show you this one kid, Ben something. He actually just won an OCB pro card. He's like got a decent following on Instagram, 100 and some thousand followers. And he films all the videos himself. He's in the gym. I think he has a tripod set up. And the rest of them are just like this, camera set up, and he's just at home talking to the camera type of thing.
Yeah.
He does a damn good job with it. Yeah, it's very cool.
That's the other thing is like the camera. I feel like the quality is so important. And I like, where are they getting these cameras? How much do they cost?
I always wondered that. Like, how do these guys film and edit all their own shit? Yeah.
It's wild.
They must drink a lot of Underdog.
Yeah, seriously. I guess let's finish up with unless do you have anything else you want to add about that? No. One of the other questions that we got from the submission through the club, we'll finish with this because I think it's on topic of what we're talking about with authenticity and transparency and stuff. So the submission was from Kennedy. She said, how does Underdog compare to other energy drink brands?
My favorite question. The classic, I think, that everyone resorts to is like, well, how's it different than Celsius is the big one. And like we said, for starters, is the transparency and trust aspect of it. I don't use any sort of proprietary blend. Like Celsius, for example, they use the MetaPlus proprietary blend hide their ingredients behind it. We use a supplement facts panel so you can see the amount of every ingredient. It's naturally flavored and sweetened, 0 sugar, no artificial additives. Just about every other brand out there is using sucralose, ASK, aspartame, some sort of artificial sweetener. We don't, and we're also the only now on the market Informed Sport certified beverage, so you don't have to worry about, only Informed Sport certified energy drink or performance beverage. You don't have to worry about any sort of banned substance testing. It's eligible for NCAA athletes, professional athletes, Olympic athletes to use and have complete peace of mind. And it's, we always say it's a healthier, more effective alternative. It's not just healthier, it's more effective. We use a fast and a slow release caffeine source. We're the only beverage to do that. We also have the 2 nootropics, alpha GPC and lion's mane mushroom, and 4 grams of citrulline, a true performance amino acid to help with the pump, to help with blood flow, oxygen and nutrient delivery to your working muscles. So it is truly a healthier, more effective alternative to other energy drink brands.
Yeah. And I think one thing I'm going to add too, you already mentioned it, but like the fast and slow release caffeine, we're the only energy drink that has a time release caffeine. And I think that is like, it's a huge focal point when we talk to people. But I also think it's like, people don't realize, oftentimes how effective that can be. Like when you think of like a college student, for example, which the college age kid they're drinking the most amount of energy drinks, likely, I would say. Like that's a huge value proposition to them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because the other thing you got to think about is, a lot, and I've seen it with my own eyes where kids are drinking energy drinks at night when they're, when they're doing homework and stuff through the night, which is just crazy because then it just disrupts your sleep patterns, your sleep cycles and everything like that. So, having that, I always drink my caffeine before I try. It's kind of creeped a little bit past, but like 1:30-ish, 2 o'clock, right in that range, which is honestly a little bit too late. But I think that'll help with a lot of people is, a drink like this that has a time release caffeine. So you're not consuming as much. I can't say I don't drink a lot of caffeine because I do. But for someone who's trying to limit their caffeine and still having focus and energy throughout the day, I think this is definitely a good alternative for you to try. So we'll leave a link in the description on TikTok and YouTube for you guys to check it out. We got 6-packs variety and 12-pack variety on our website. If you want to try all 3 flavors, we got strawberry lemonade, blue raspberry, and Patriot Pop. And then we also have the 12-pack cases available on our website and Amazon for you guys to give it a try if you like a specific flavor. We have subscription options as well if you just want it out of sight, out of mind. It'll just show up on your doorstep. But yeah, we thank you guys for listening. We're going to start doing these live streams a little bit more, try to answer some live Q&As as well, not necessarily in podcast format, which we'll probably do these live all the time now. But be sure to follow us on all social media platforms, especially Instagram. That's where a lot of our content goes down at @underdog_brand. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on the next episode.
That was pretty good for the first live podcast.
Damn.
What?
Holy shit. We got a good amount of viewers.
Really?
93 viewers, 11 comments, and 16 likes.
On TikTok? Or YouTube? TikTok. Yeah.
TikTok.
11 comments. What were they?
You want to hit the red dot on that, on the back there?